So today we're going to be building the next level of our castle facade. Now if you saw the last live stream, excuse me, you will have seen us put together the first two levels. So we've got the main gate and the first extra level of the towers, and this is of course a double height facade piece because it contains our great forest. So this is how it gets all tucked away. If you see, it doesn't come out any deeper. So we can get that in the shot there. It doesn't come out any deeper than the base plate there, and it doesn't come out any wider than the walls, and that way it can fit inside our castle without disrupting any of the units that it's facing into. So that's the if you like, hidden scene on the inside of that. So what's going to happen is for this central tower, each of these modules is going to have a different display in it that can be shown while the castle's open. Then of course when the castle closes, they'll all stack up on top of each other and they will be used to form the fascia of the castle so that it can close up. Because if you remember, my Hogwarts is a dollhouse style castle, so that means it hinges open, but because of the depth of the shelf it's on, it can't close all the way to the front and hinge completely open. So I need to have a section in the middle, and it works out nicely because it gives me a chance to display some scenes from the rest of the Wizarding World. So although the tower keeps falling off, this is going to be a live stream and I will be chatting if anyone decides to join us. Mainly this is just a chance for me to get some footage for a later edited video about all of these pieces. So if you don't want to watch the full live stream just to see what the build looks like, there will be a short normal length video made from footage in this live stream and posted up to the site as normal. So the base is made up of 3 8x8s because that's what I had. They were recently on the pab wall, so I availed myself of a large stack. At the moment they're held together with these half rounds just to keep them all joined up. That's not going to be the final base of the inside because of course there's eventually going to be a scene in there. So we're going to start off, this is going to be our front. So we're just going to start off building the wall. Now all of these are facades, so there really are nothing particularly special in as much as the builds themselves. So we're just going to start off building up the parts of the module, and this is where we start to continue our towers that we had in the lower levels. So these are continuing on. Let's just bring back the bottom. So you can see here, we've got the towers with these half rounds on here, and this is going to sit right on top there, stud into place when it's more secure, and then our towers will continue up here like that. And to complete this area, we need to step out one stud from our base plate. We're going to do that with one of these L-shaped bricks and a single stud. And we've got just a 1x2 on the bottom just to level it off at the same level as the rest of the build. I'm going to repeat that on the other side. Got a little vine in there. Oh. There we go. And then it's simply going to be a straight build all the way up the tower. So let's start adding our bricks in here. As I say, nothing particularly special about these builds. And if you are joining us on a live stream for the first time, welcome. As I say, we're just using this opportunity to get me some footage for one of our later build videos. So as you can see, nothing particularly special yet, just a pretty basic wall as it moves up the castle. Now, the first time I built this, it was really just putting it together to see how it would look. And I think it can be worth my while to spread these bricks out a little bit and work in some different patterns, just for a bit more variation, because as I say, I was building this as part of its design process, so I never really stopped to you know, make it look as good as it could look, and really just kept building until it was complete, and then it stayed like that. So I don't tend to use any kind of digital designs or anything like that. And you're actually going to see in a moment how that can be somewhat of a drawback. So we've got the towers on and we've got the main wall in. I'm going to start building our archway, which is going to continue up here. So this is the bottom of the section that we're filling in. We're going to continue up on that stepped out piece. So on each side, oh, dropping bricks. Just a little plate in there to bring things up to the right level and also to stabilise my bricks. And then we'll pop in an arch. Same again on the other side. So it's going to start to close in the area. Now inside each of those arches, to fill in that 1 by 1 space, got one of these inverted slopes and these tooth pieces on top of the little statue, just to give us a little something to look at, bit of visual interest. Put those on there like that. And then we're going to close off this section with this 6 by 2 by 1 arch piece here. Just got a plate on top again just to bring it up to level. Now, what I do intend to do in the future is pop a clock just in there. Now, at the moment, I still haven't decided which version of a clock brick I'm going to use, but I do want to prepare the area so that I can stud it in when the time comes. Now, there are various clocks available in this 4 by 4 style. There's some bigger ones, and if I choose that, I can always place it lower, but I'm thinking I just want to get a 4 by 4 because it's not the main clock tower, it's just a small clock. Some of them are printed on dishes, which I can set up like this, just a dish on the brick. In fact, I think all of them may be printed like that. I don't think there is actually a 4 by 4 fully round tile. So that's going to be the basic setup of the clock when I eventually get round to making my mind up and ordering one. But we need to make sure that's going to be able to attach to the wall. So I reckon this level of bricks is going to be where we need to put in a snot brick to hold that. So let's have a deconstruct. I'm just going to have a scrabble around in my box of bricks just to see what we've got. Well, the first one that found itself was a 4 wide snot brick. That's clearly going to be too wide for the job we're looking for. Because we are dished, I think we're just going to need a 2 wide. So let's just see, a bit of guerrilla building, if that's going to sit in the right place, or if we need to put any plates underneath it. No, I think that may be as good as we're going to get. Let's see if we can try it with a plate underneath, see if that's going to change anything. Right, first plate that I come to, a little brown one. Now is that going to push it nicely up into the top? Oh, maybe too far. I think that's actually gone inside the arch. Let's see, no. So a plate underneath it's just a little too far. So we're going to have to live with that slight gap. So we don't need that plate. Pop this in there. And we'll just fill in around this with some different bricks. I'm testing the limits of my available bricks now, because 1x1s are always the ones I run out of. Let's see if we've got one lurking around here. So we have one with a Technic pin in it, so that's okay. Pop that in there. Put that nice bit of detail brick in. Although having said that, you're not going to see it, are you? Any more 1x1s? Well, I know you're in here somewhere. That's another Technic one. There we go. So that's going to be the studs for our clock. And that will stud on just there like that. And assuming it's printed on a dish, that will just sit in there. Lovely. Let's turn it back round. Finish off the level. So now we need a 1x2, because again we've changed what we're doing. So another one of those. Good stuff. Right, let's get all these rogue pieces out of the way so we don't get confused. Turn it back around to the front. So now we just have to build up to the level of the top of our units. So first things first, we're going to put some fronts onto these pillars. So these are using the bricks with the same profile, those corner cut bricks. Just bring it up to that layer, and then you can fill in and integrate those towers into the ball. Nicely across there. Just can put another one of these little shield pieces just on the top there. As we move across, got a nice long brick just there to really secure all of those together. That'll just hold everything in nice and tight and secure. We can go back in. Good stuff. Another shield on that end. It's just a case of filling in across the top. Alright, so that's coming along nicely. Behind these little statues, we're going to start off the top of the arch. We're just going to pop in there a couple of pieces. Drop the other one. So these are simply a 1x3. Then we've got the slopes in sand green. And that's just going to fill in and secure those arches to stop them wobbling around all over the place. The tops of the towers are going to be finished off with these 3x3 plates with the cut corners. And then we're just going to build a little balcony style arrangement on the top of each of these. That's one. And there's the other one. Just to finish off the towers. Now, I would have liked to finish these off with turrets on the top. That was my original design. But because of the depth of the turrets, going back to the full I think it's a 6x6 I was going to use, or a 4x4, but they interfered with the wall, or if I used the smaller ones, there was just no way to finish them and they just looked incomplete. So I thought I'd finish it with a little balcony design instead. Finishing off the front of the wall, I'm going to pop in another plate just to bring it up level, and to tie those two together, got a 6x2 there. Just pop that in on the top there. And finishing up the back, a couple of plates, put some tile on the top of that just to smooth it all off. And then we're going to finish off our arch and let that build itself up. Bit by bit. Then we're going to finish that off. 2 more slopes. One of these pyramid shaped bits. And that is that. So that's the first part of our facade put together. And ready to attach onto our facade. Let's tilt the camera up there. So there we can see, let's see if we can get that all in. So that's it so far with our clock. Now seeing it in there, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough for the space. Maybe we do need to go for the larger clock and let it sit in the middle a bit more. Something to think about in the future. That can sit there for now, and even if it turns out I don't put a clock, I could always put one of these shield pieces in like that. Maybe have another school badge on the top. I quite like that actually. I do like that. Maybe will that go another one high? No, again that interferes with the arch. So that would be our position. Could we have a clock underneath that? Does that look good? Is that something we could go for? It looks like a big medal. Hang on. Maybe not. I'm not sure because of these uneven arches. It's not an even space. But I do quite like it with the shield on the front. Maybe we'll leave it like that. Anyway, there we go. As you can see, doesn't interfere with the forest unit beneath because all of that is designed to contract into its space. And then this internal space is going to be used for a scene from the Wizarding World, much like the forest below it. Haven't decided what's going to be on here. So if anyone's got any ideas as to what kind of scene that occurred in multiple books, ideally, just we're not using the space up for just a one-off scene that's only appropriate for display during 1 year. Now, I have got a few different ideas upcoming. What I was thinking possibly we could have in here is maybe the inside of a coach from the Hogwarts Express. Or possibly I would deck this out as an interior for Hagrid's hut. And I was thinking that I might just build it on one side so that it hinges open and you get a full scene, or you can have it hinged closed and you get a little Hagrid's hut, and then next to it can just put a pumpkin patch or something. And that's my current favourite. I think I quite like to do that because Hagrid's hut features frequently enough that it would be appropriate in each. And I might even let that integrate with the forest scene so they could butt up against each other. I think I've talked myself into that one. I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Anyway, that was the build. So you've seen how long it takes to put these things together in real time. Nothing too outrageous. 20 minutes. And that's with me gassing and messing around. So that's the first of our facades. And if you'd like to see that again, probably with very little editing, so I'm surprisingly well, or that went surprisingly well, then you'll probably be able to see this video on the channel in the very near future. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to Bricking It. Bye bye.